Hey Internet, welcome to the next edition of Ask Me Anything Fridays. Today's question is, why do you talk so much about sex and Tantra and what makes you an expert? Well, before this episode, probably about 6 people on the planet knew the answer to this question, and now I get to share it with you. Several things happened at the same time, but the thing that really triggered it was about 10 years into my first marriage, my then husband makes an announcement. And the announcement was, "You are terrible and boring in the bedroom." I was gutted, just absolutely gutted and appalled and shell shocked and didn't know what to do. So once I kind of got over the initial shock, I started talking to researchers and I started reading books and just trying to fix this problem of me being terrible in bed. And I mean, because, well, one, who wants to be terrible in bed? And then two, oh my God, this why I was having so much issues in my marriage. So this goes on for about 6 years, and in that same time, I am teaching strength conditioning class at the local senior center, and the average person in my class was about 70 years old, and a lot of the women were recently widowed or divorced. And they had questions about sex and starting intimacy at a much older age. So we were learning together. I was helping them through stuff, and I started talking about this. And what I realized in this journey was that sexual health and sexual wellness and sexual knowledge is so important and very much a part of someone's mental, physical, overall wellness. And the biggest thing I learned was it wasn't necessarily that I was boring and terrible in bed. It was that my first husband and I didn't like the same things. And that was never addressed. And the other thing was, for the seniors I was working with, it was like they teach you where the birds and the bees come from and how babies are made, but there is no education about intimacy and what to do if this happens, or how do you take care of yourself. And nobody really talks about it. And when you talk about it, even with a group of women or a group of men, it's kind of, you either chuckle or you just go, oh, it's all the same thing. But for me, when I see people in my clinic, it is about their whole health. And sex always comes up, whether they're going through menopause or whether they're going through a tough time in their marriage, or whether they're trying to lose 200 pounds. And what does that mean for them in an intimate situation? So I started answering questions when people at Cosmo and Men's Health wanted to know about it. And I started talking about it, and I learned more, and I'm learning more each time. And my purpose in talking about it is not to titillate, but my purpose to talking about it is that I was shocked and devastated for a really long time, and it affected my self-esteem. It probably ultimately affected my marriage. And if I can help someone else through it, I want to do that for them. So the reason I promote Tantra is because the point of Tantra is communication. The point of Tantra is finding out what you like and what your partner likes. And you know what? If it's something that you both can't gel with, it's okay to move on to other relationships, or to end that relationship, or figure out how you can have intimacy within that relationship that meets both your goals. There are so many options. It's just the ability to talk about it and to express it. And so that's why I do it. And like I said, I'm happy to answer any questions. I think this is probably one of the more personal ones. And again, if there's anything within this video that you want me to talk about further, feel free to ask me, and I'm, no holds barred. I'll talk to you next week.